Hello and welcome back to the channel. I had predicted that October was going to be one final hectic month of comebacks before the end of year shows, but I never would have predicted just how busy it would be. We got hit with a massive tsunami this month, and it is my self-appointed job to wade through the waters to see which releases rose to the top and which ones fell to the bottom of the ocean. Timestamps are in the description, and now let's get into the video. SEULGI transformed into the marvelous devil herself and crept her way up to the surface to drag me into her abode in Tartarus, and I went without any complaints. I think the song definitely could have been a Taemin or Red Velvet INS release. I wish they would have leaned more into the horror concept to make the music video feel more cinematic, like the album trailer, because it just feels like it had so much untapped potential. But then again, SEULGI is the main dancer of Red Velvet, so I understand why SM didn't go down that route, even though I think it would have been so much more groundbreaking and artistic. Regardless of my criticism, the song goes off, especially the bridge. Dear Lord, I felt my soul being taken by SEULGI when I heard it for the first time. But then, when I listened to the rest of the mini-album, I had no choice but to sign my life away to the devil because it is that good. I'm really looking forward to the I-DLE, the new HBO show Jennie is going to be in, and I think Los Angeles would be such a great addition to its soundtrack based on the vibes from its trailer. Typically songs about California and Los Angeles are about the beach and summer, but SEULGI's Los Angeles feels like it's uncovering what lies underneath in the gritty underground of the City of Angels. Where you been all my life? Yeah. This just screams K-pop in the late 2000s to me, and it reminds me so much of Big Bang. I love it so much. It feels like a party, like everything is going to be okay, and that it's time to let loose and have fun. I haven't been this satisfied about a Treasure chorus since I Love You. The transition and the build-up is so smooth and effortless. This is definitely my second favorite title track from them. I gotta say, I'm glad that even though they're 2 members short, the remaining 10 are still going strong and holding down the fort well. Mashiho's my bias, but Asahi with this hairstyle this comeback had me feeling some type of way, and I love that we got to hear more of his voice in Thank You. Farewell Younghoon, you goofball. God, this month has been so emotional. It's going to be strange not seeing our leader and frontman leading the group. This song is a beautiful goodbye for now, and you bet it had me crying in my bed, under my sheets, at 2 in the morning for a week straight. Just in the way the music swells and conjures up so many emotions, the song reminds me of Phil Collins or the Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron soundtrack. This song is already one of my favorite ONEWE songs of all time, right up there with Regulus, Eraser, Star, and Aurora. Well, first and foremost, welcome to the group Kwon. Hope you're settling in well and starting to feel at home, but by the looks of it, I don't think you need my blessings, and I'm glad Kingmakers are being so supportive. I personally don't see Hwan as replacing Chiwoo. Instead, it's like we're extending our family and he feels like a great addition to the group. Now let's focus on the comeback. I had a very strong inkling that this would be their best song yet, and I was very close in my prediction. Long Live the King is epic, but that's expected from Kingdom. What isn't expected is what they chose to do with the song. It reminds me of ONEUS's Black Mirror and Ellis's Dark Dream. I like that they steered away from their usual title track sound. It's a bit more mainstream but still majestic and dramatic. The final act of the song is what makes it a strong contender against Karma as my favorite Kingdom title track. Also, the mind-boggling choreography with the spears makes my heart sink and my mouth wide open in awe every time I watch their performances. Pop off, Kings. Why do I keep getting attracted? It's not my type of song, but I love that they tried something new and mixed genres. Like, I'd never pegged Stray Kids as ones to add in hotel bar piano vibes into a song, but here you go and it surprisingly works. Stray Kids' title track music videos are either hella intense and powerful or super emo. And like I said before, I like that they tried something new. Something that's cute, but not generically cute. It just feels like you're watching their daily antics and them being their regular goofy, chaotic selves. The B-sides are where the album shines. Like, I don't even need to talk about their unit songs. They ate. I like that Can't Stop sounds like a Day6 song, and I love that it's for Seungmin and Ian, cause Seungmin and his My Day ass make this sound even more like a Day6 song. It's a heartbreak song, but it feels so warm and comforting. I love this so much cause this is the stuff I used to listen to before K-pop. I kinda dislike the filter they use in the music video cause it makes them look like zombies, but then again it could be a deliberate artistic choice since it reminds me of indie music videos from the early 2010s. I love that the bridge is purely instrumental and backing vocals, cause if you focus on the synths, you'll feel like you're floating in space. They've crafted such a gorgeous album. When listening to it from top to bottom, you literally feel like you're in a forest, by a waterfall, so tranquil and at peace. The Rose did what they sought out to do, and they're healing all of us by creating this God-sent album. This is pure, divine rock and roll energy, and it is so delicious. It's a perfect balance of light and dark, of hope and destruction. It's the anthem of a revolution. I feel like ATEEZ could have done a song like this, especially after they released Gorilla and Cyberpunk. Fairy Tale is definitely my favorite song from the EP, and it gives me strong anime opening vibes, which I always love. I don't have much else to say about Vision, but my lack of commentary is not a reflection of my affection for the song. I just can't string together my thoughts in a comprehensible fashion. I always forget how good and how versatile of a soloist Jihoon is, and I blame that squarely on Mirae for not letting him come back often. This is such a great flavour of retro, with the instrumentals in the chorus reminding me of the Stranger Things OST. Plus I think this pairs well with Ghost 9's X-Ray, which I find to be really wholesome. If you guys missed the Weeknd's After Hours era, then you'll absolutely love this song. This is quite possibly one of my favourite comebacks of the month, and I really did not expect that to happen. Finally, an Eunbi song that I love on first listen. The entire album took me by surprise, and there's just something so magical about this comeback. I love that she is consolidating her style and essence with every comeback, always upping the ante. Underwater definitely takes me back to the good old days in 2017, 2018. To me, it's like if Chungha's Why Don't You Know, Luna's Flip That, and One Us' Same Scent all had a child together. Though I love the title track, it's far from being my favourite song off the EP. I'm in love with every single song, but I'd say Croc and Flash are my absolute favourites. But I do really like that there's something very 70s about simulation, and it's a sound that hasn't been used much in retro-inspired K-pop songs. My one critique of the comeback isn't something that Eunbi can really control, and that's her concept photos. Like, what was Willem thinking in doing an underwater photo shoot for Glitch, a song with a very high-tech visual aesthetic, but then do a very fashion editorial look for an album where the title track is literally called Underwater? Make it make sense! I would understand if there was some clever underlying meaning to it, but the very word concept means that the teasers should provide an indication or allude to what the upcoming era is going to look like. Well, it's about damn time. The Queen has finally debuted as a soloist. Hush Rush sounds like it'd play in a teen rom-com movie, but like a good coming-of-age one, not a cheesy Netflix one. To me, it sounds like it could have been an Oh My Girl B-side as well. Similar to Eunbi's comeback, the title track is far from being my favourite song from the EP. You can always count on WM to make some of the best B-sides in the industry. It's gotta be a tie between Aquamarine and Danny as my favourite tracks. Aquamarine has such magical mermaid vibes, and I love that Danny sounds like a Winx Club song because it reminds me of my childhood. The album art is also really cool, and it reminds me of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I think goes very well with the concept of the debut. Like, it's got the vampire horror aesthetic, but not in the way that you'd expect. Oh my god, this song. I'm so in love with his voice, the retro nostalgia, the heartbreaking lyrics, the music video, the storyline, everything. No one is doing it like him with his authenticity. This solo debut is the definition of art, and I'm so glad we still get to see this out of YG. Also, all of his live stages were so cool and unique. I would have given anything to see them. For similar reasons to Nitro, this is one of my favorite releases of the month, and I'll never shut up about this song. Soyeon's pure genius is so admirable this comeback. I recently watched The Great Gatsby and have been listening to its soundtrack, so the 1920s flapper burlesque show vibe of this song is right up my alley and is something that feels so unique and different but needed in the industry right now. We had NMIXX's Dice last month, but that was more jazz inspired and it was mixed with other genres, making it feel more modern and experimental because that's their thing. Momoland's Yummy Yummy Love also felt similar in that sense, but now that we have Nude, it feels more authentic and true to the cabaret concept. I love the fusion of the 50s and 20s in the song, and I love the trumpet mute they used. All of the girls nailed the signature Monroe downturned smolder, and I'm elated that Shuhua was able to shine so much this comeback. She's finally getting recognized for her talents after years of people belittling her. Change is definitely the best song from the album. Don't even try to change my mind. And is it just me or does Dark remind anyone of Soyeon's Psycho? I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. I don't mean to be harsh, but the movie Blonde did a horrible job at honoring and respecting Marilyn Monroe. Nude is the far greater 2022 tribute to Marilyn. I-DLE understand that Marilyn was a misunderstood woman, that the world only saw her for being what she portrayed on the screen, in roles she was pigeonholed into that did not truthfully reflect herself. And unfortunately, even to this day, we still grasp to that perception of her because people are so attracted to her tragedy. So, instead of watching Blonde, stream Nude for good grades and clear skin. They're back, tougher, stronger, and more powerful as ever. Fearless is still my favorite title track, but it's only edged out Anti-Fragile by a smidge. And who knows, it may grow on me the more I listen to it. Their title tracks have always had that personal, raw touch that I like, i.e. the little nod to Kazuha's ballet career in the lyrics. Because it makes you feel like they're talking to you directly, mentoring you, telling you about their life experiences and empowering you to follow your dreams no matter what it takes. This essence, I believe, is what separates SSERAFIM from other girl groups of their generation. I love how they've explored different genres in this EP, and we gotta applaud Yoonjin for writing more than half of the album. Impurities and Good Parts are probably my favorites, but No Celestial is also really good and it legit sounds like a late 2000s, early 2010s punk rock song that could have easily gone to Paramore. As a whole, I still prefer their debut mini-album over this one, but that all comes down to personal taste. And if we're being honest, their debut EP is truly one of the best albums of the year in my opinion. Side note, might sound crazy, but I feel Anti-Fragile is a song P1 Harmony would do if they were a girl group. Continuing with what they did with Sneakers, this also sounds like it belongs in a Disney teen movie soundtrack from the early 2010s. Pretty much like what everyone's been saying, the chorus sounds so much like Love Story by Taylor Swift to me, which makes me wish I was listening to Fearless album, Taylor's version, instead. I also think the song kinda reminds me of other songs from the early 2010s like One Direction's What Makes You Beautiful or something Kelly Clarkson might have put out early in her career. If I'm being honest, I only like the last third of the song because of the chants and hello, Chaeyeon's high note. Though I'm not the biggest fan of the song, if a guy 2 times any one of these girls, I'ma start throwing these hands. Let's ride. Oh my god, I'm so excited for a full album to drop. She's been serving so many different looks, so many different sounds, so many different emotions. It's going to be such a roller coaster listening to the full album. Right now, Animal Farm is my favorite pre-release because of the artistry, but Motor Speed 24 is a close second because, as you all know, I'm a sucker for that sweet city pop sound. I also love the visuals of Sweet Sorrow of Mother, I just wish it was longer and we could flesh out its concept cause it's so gorgeous. Why, hello there ladies! 2022 really is the year for girl group debuts. I was actually hoping that we weren't going to have any more girl group debuts this year cause they're going to make my job really hard when I have to rank this year's debuts, but oh well. That electric guitar and bass line are so divine. They had me hooked right from the start. The anti-drop is a bit underwhelming, but it's not bad. Plus, when it comes back the second time, I quite like it. It's a strong debut, and I hope the company doesn't lose faith in them in the future just cause they're Nugu, cause I see a lot of potential in them.
That's my attitude, that's my attitude.
That's it. I have to stan. Their debut intrigued me, and given that they're A-Pink, Victon, and Weekly's little brothers, I didn't have any doubt that I'd grow to love them as well. This song ate up their debut. It reminds me of the boys' Breaking Dawn. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they got the same music producers or music video director for this, cause they're both under the same company now. It's a simplistic song, but it reminds me of Fearless in that sense. Like, it doesn't need to be any more than this. The song knows what it needs to do and how it should do it without being over the top. I truly appreciate that each of the boys' solos have been able to fully encapsulate their style and vibe. Because sounds like it would play in the ending credits of a classic 80s high school rom-com, I love that with Junji and Ri's music videos being tied together, you get to see the two different sides of the relationship, which I think is very clever and artistic. In Junji's song, he talks about being infatuated by someone to the point where he's purposely ignorant of all the flaws in the relationship because he is so set on what his idea of a relationship is. I love the music video's director's choice to show the reality of the relationship and to show its ups and downs. Begin and Because are currently tied as my favorite solos at the moment, and I'm so pumped to see what 9 and Mill have in store for us. By the way, the people who say OnlyOneOf only make queer-coded music videos for clout are so wrong. The boys have always been nothing but loving and respectful to people within the LGBTQ+ community. It's a really bold and brave thing to make music videos like this in South Korea, so let's just appreciate the artistry behind their music and praise them for working to normalize different relationships.
When I'm with you, there is no...
Jin, you worldwide sweetheart. This year has made me realize how much I grew up alongside BTS, and even though I've stanned and altered other groups since discovering them, BTS will always have a special place in my heart, as basic and cliche as that sounds. The friendship between BTS and Coldplay also warms my heart so much, and the fact that Jin trusted Chris in helping him create a gift for fans to say goodbye is so sweet. Bless them. The Astronaut is hands down, no arguments needed, Song of the Year material in my books. It reminds me so much of Heroes by David Bowie, which makes it feel like a timeless classic already. The chorus always makes me feel so emotional and like I'm on the verge of tears. But even though it's a sad song, it makes me feel invincible. Like Jin is giving me strength through his voice, and that's truly magical. It's such a beautiful goodbye, and I'll probably be playing this song just about every day until BTS come back as 7. If you like NewJeans, you will definitely love these girls. God damn it, what is it with girl groups this year? They're absolutely killing it. You guys know that I love anything that feeds on nostalgia, so of course I fell head over heels for this debut. For months, I've been really curious and fascinated by this group, like the majority of girl group stans, and they certainly have gone over and above my expectations. Generation is very 90s, and with NewJeans and SERAFIM doing similar minimalistic songs with a refreshing and elegant vibe, I'm really excited for what 2023 and the next generation is going to bring. Though I am in love with the song, it's definitely too short. But I think it serves a good purpose in leaving the audience wanting more and getting them to stick around for the next comeback or the next unit that will debut. Also, even though I'm really excited for this epic girl group debut plan and concept, I am worried for them considering it sounds like it will be extremely taxing on their company, and I'm not sure how I feel about the use of NFTs with this group. But I'm just going to ignore this worrying feeling right now, cause I'm just so full of serotonin about this debut. Immediately when the song started, it got me headbanging. This is definitely my favorite title track of theirs, and I think it suits them the most. I can always depend on brand new music to make good music, but damn, they're pouring heaps into this rookie group this year. If we include their pre-debut releases, they've been active for 7 months and have released 18 songs and 4 music videos. That's crazy. I don't want this to sound like I'm blaming YOUNITE, just know that I've got beef with brand new music for completely ruining BDC's momentum when they exited 2021. Like, they poured in so much for the group last year, with 3 amazing releases, and then they barely paid them any attention this year. Make it make sense, love your boy groups equally, please. And now for a quickfire round of extra comebacks that I checked out and had opinions of. I don't know these guys that well, but whenever I see news from them, it's really wholesome, and I was so happy when they got their first ever music show win. To me, this song is like DKZ's victory lap for the year. Watching the music video, it's like seeing a phoenix being reborn. I would have loved it if they did a similar concept as SF9's Good Guy with this song, but I gotta appreciate that they're trying something new for each comeback. I hate to say this, but the song is weak compared to their other title tracks. I think 123 Oi might have been the better choice for the title track because it contains references to their early stuff and it's a really fun and cheeky song. Though I say this, LIEC in my opinion is the best song on the tracklist and I wish they would do more disco-inspired songs. This is exactly what song and concept I thought Baekho would do as a soloist. I love everything about this debut, but I can see other artists like Wonho and Ha Sung-won singing it as well with the same music video. Wadada and Up have both been brilliantly weird and fun. We Fresh in comparison feels very safe and tame for them. Still a bop though, but I must admit the title track is so mediocre compared to the B-sides. Downtown makes me pray that Kep1er do a retro concept next, and Dreams is definitely the standout track off the EP. An anthem for members of the Lonely Hearts Club. It sounds like it could have been a B-side, but I like that he's doing the opposite of what people would expect him to do for a title track. This sounds more like their B-sides. I think this would have been better as a summer release because of the really refreshing and goofy music video. I can't believe it's already time for Hoon and Jaehyun to enlist. I'm gonna miss my 2 idiots a lot. God, I've had to say goodbye to so many of my favorite boys this month. My tear ducts are being overworked. I swear to God, the way WeEye is switching up their concept to extremes for every comeback is giving me a severe whiplash. You all better pay for my chiropractor bills. This song kinda reminds me of what Monsta X used to release in like 2017, 2018. I'm not a massive fan of the title tracks, not cause they're bad, they're just not for me. But their B-sides are always consistently good and it's insane. This music video was just further proof that Miss Jo Yuri is an absolute angel who we don't deserve. I dare you to not smile when watching the music video. I'd say that Love Shoot is still my favorite title track of hers at the moment, but it's only beating out Glassy and Lovable by a very small margin. I'm sad that they only come back like once a year, but at least they resurrected themselves in time for Halloween. This song is quite different to what they normally do, but I really like this switch up for them, because the instrumentals in this song are already spooky enough on their own. Ladies and gentlemen, I have found Dice's twin brother. It reminds me of the second gen boy group songs, but then there's also something about it that sounds like TXT's Good Boy Gone Bad. It's a downgrade in music video quality, but I'm very pleased that they're keeping the amazing quality of their music consistent. I prefer Tick Tick Boom over Zealous, but I'd say Zealous was the right pick for title track. It just needed more love put into it by their company. It's been a long time since I've heard from them. If you like Anti-Fragile, then you might like this. My heart breaks for Xian after learning about his diagnosis, and I really hope that he's able to stay, though it's hard to say depending on the severity of his condition. Ten may only come back solo once every year, but when he does, the world stops and stares in awe of his glory. Ten really said Tame and Sunbae Nim might be in the military right now, but he instructed me to hold down the fort so y'all are in safe hands with me. This song is so decadent, it gives me goosebumps and makes my shoulders shimmy every time I listen to it. 10 out of 10. No arguments. And no pun intended. Welcome back girlies, you've been missed so dearly. They've returned with such a bop and it kinda reminds me of Wiki Miki's Siesta. I love the styling and the girls look so happy and confident. Dance On feels like a manifesto for the group. They've been through so much the last 2 years, but they've come out the other end stronger and they're going to keep persisting. Dance on, my dears. Alrighty, for those of you who've stuck around till the end, thank you. You guys get a gold star for participation and a virtual hug from me. October has left me pooped and I really hope this is the last intense month of comebacks for the year. Until next time, stay groovy, stay safe, keep smiling, love you all, and bye bye.
Make this move on.